Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Talk with an Angel. My name is Chandler Davis, and I am the host of the show. Today's show, we will discuss how to get the job you want. So if you're a teenager or young adult, make sure you take notes. My in-studio guest today is Carol Washington, Human Resource Director of the Wilson Group. Let's give Carol a hand as we welcome her to the show. Welcome to the Talk with an Angel show, Carol.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your job experience?
Okay, so I went to college, undergrad for business, after changing my major about 3 times. Unsure what I wanted to do with that business career was so wide open. I stumbled across an opportunity at Thrift Drug. So, and I'm dating myself because now it was Eckerd and now it's Rite Aid, and so it was a retail pharmaceutical company, and I was actually in the accounting area, and we were experiencing a takeover or a merge, and one of the vice presidents, one of the only black males, had a conversation with me, and he says, "You seem so upset," and I said, "I just think it's unfair to be in a job that you like and then have to change or whatever," and I was really adamant about it. He said, "Well, what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to do what you do." He said, "Well, what do you think I do?" And I said, "You change people's lives." Wow. And he was the director of HR, and he said, "I'm going to give you a shot. And if you succeed, great, good for you." So over the past 25 years, Human Resources has been one of, if not all of, what I did for every job that I've had.
Okay,
so
cool.
Somehow I landed at the Wilson Group, or they landed on me, I don't know which. But time and opportunity happened, and small company.
Yeah.
So small in terms of we're less than 50 employees, but large in terms of sole proprietors, startup companies, entrepreneurs.
Right.
But I love it. Love what I do, and changing people's lives is 100% a part of that.
Yes, yes. So today we're talking about how to get the job you want, and if you're a teenager or a young adult. So what types of jobs should someone pursue with little or no experience?
I'd say it depends on what their passion is. And you don't discover that till, way later in life. I think you change your mind so many times because of money, circumstances, or just the education can be a little challenging. So if you have no experience, or you've just, everybody should have a rite of passage in flipping hamburgers and serving pizza.
Right.
I just think it's a humbling job experience. But start small. Start with what you know. So if you're a person that enjoys kids, I would say go for daycares. If you are a person that enjoys working with customer service, which it could get interesting.
Oh, yeah.
There's good and bad experiences. So my son had his first job at Rite Aid, go figure.
Wow.
But they were one of the few companies that hired teenagers.
Okay.
A lot of jobs are notorious for staying away from teenagers. They just automatically assume they'll be late, irresponsible, not show up. They might steal. There's a lot of risk in hiring young people. But I would say stay local. Bus fare is really high. Minimum wage, which I know we'll talk about, is not as high as you think. And it becomes a burden when you spend more to go to work than actually working.
Right.
So.
What is a resume and what should be in it?
Okay. I've seen people with little or no experience walk in the door with a 3-page resume. And as much as I admire the writing skills, it's not that impressive when when you're on this side. Only because you think to yourself, you don't have that much to say. So I critique, adults as well as young people, but teenagers have more to put on their resume than they think. And I wrote a couple thoughts down, but if you are an honor student, you could list those special classes that will indicate you have the ability to learn math, the STEM, math, technology, engineering, and science. Okay. Totally said that backwards, but it doesn't matter. I already have a job. So.
Right.
their interests. You know, again, if you are interested in working with children, you might mention your mentoring program at your church.
Right.
You may volunteer to work with the youth group. It's resume worthy to mention. If you're volunteering, a lot of people volunteer for things that they're passionate, whether it's breast cancer awareness or a 5K run. It matters. It shows commitment. And if your GPA is not a 3.0 or above, I would advise not putting it on the right. I mean, I'm not saying that a 2.7 isn't impressive, but it's not really worth bragging about until you get to 3.0 or higher for a resume.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I would like to mention, whatever you do, don't put the references available upon request. That is like 1969 language, and I'm kind of assuming if I ask you for the references that they're going to be on request.
True.
So.
Makes sense, makes sense. So what is a cover letter?
Cover letter is an opportunity for you to introduce yourself on paper.
Okay.
To indicate what specific job you want. It shows, again, nonverbal skills, which is writing, is powerful. And today, with social media and texting, a person puts their own spin on the words on the paper. You know, it may not be your intention to say, you know, hey, with an angry tone.
Right.
But all you meant was, hey, hey, girl.
Right.
You know, but it's the same thing on a cover letter. Hi, my name is, I'd like to apply for, or I noticed your ad for such and such position. Confident but not cocky is a way to say I'm qualified, not more than, because then I'm going to call you on the carpet to see what you know. An opportunity to brag about your education experience, or if it's your first time, I'd like to have my first professional or employment experience with you. You know, tell the employer that, you know, you're more important than all the other companies that I looked at.
Okay.
And salutations are important. So no love always, no sincerely, but kind regards keeps it, you know, non-gender specific and very professional.
Okay. So what is the purpose of references, and how many should someone have?
Reference. Well, okay, now sometimes people go a little overboard on the references. So I want to say 3 or 4, you know, 2 professional, 2 personal. And the reason you want to give both, 2 professional are for verification of employment. Yes, she was here. Yes, she works from this date to this date. Something that's a misnomer is a person with a reference can say whatever they want. So you gotta be careful what you put.
Yeah.
So if you've offended someone before,
yeah,
and they don't say much, I'm kind of puzzled why you use them for reference. Don't use auntie and uncle, and because they're going to say all these glowy things about you. But a personal reference would be from a mentor or a teacher or a coach that vouches for your integrity.
Okay.
And your honesty and your stick-to-itiveness or your dedication.
Right. So can I use my family members as reference? And if not, who can I use if I don't have any work experience?
Okay, no. On the family.
Okay.
Especially mama. I love mamas. Because you could tell a mom wrote it.
Right.
It's for, if they have a last name different than the, okay, I know your mom. You know what I mean? I don't want to embarrass the candidate, but I will say to them, no, I know your mom wrote this, but you might not want to take this to the other employer.
Right.
But a pastor, again, someone from church that knows you're reliable. If you've ushered or, you know, volunteered for an event and you actually, you know, followed through with those commitments, that's another way for people that didn't work with you but they noticed.
Right.
You know.
Gotcha. And what is a letter of recommendation, and can it be substituted for references?
I look at letters of recommendation as an honor to write for someone else. In my experience, I'm humbled in that you thought that much of me, or I made that much of an impact on your life. And of course, you know. So I got to stop from writing a 2-page letter bragging about this person, because then the question becomes, well, why aren't they still hired with you?
Right.
You know. And I'll always say that they moved on with the anticipation of them being rehired.
Gotcha.
That's that you know, hire her, she got it.
Right.
So.
So let's talk about the interview. How should someone dress?
This is probably one of my favorite topics. A suit is always the best go-to, and it's adorable, but not the best advice to wear like a father's suit, because you know the cuffs are kind of hanging down here, and when you shake your hand, you kind of notice. And you can make a suit out of odd things that you might have in your closet, right?
Right.
A really, really nice tank can look nice under a jacket. I'd say for people that don't have a tie, borrow a tie. We have a clothing bank at our church, New Vision Community Church, and it's called Kids Closet. And that is probably one of the perfect places I can say it's free.
Yes.
You could try on it, you know, try on the garment, and then understand. There are people that will say, you don't know how to tie a tie.
Right.
Maybe we'll have Deacon Derek or Pastor Jerry show you how to tie a tie, young man. Or, you know, if their hair isn't appropriate, we have people that, you know, may recommend, how do I wear my hair?
Right.
As long as the shirt's clean, pants are ironed. Some people are allergic to irons. I don't understand this generation, but, you know, I always don't take them off the rack and just put them on. And a nice, clean pair of shoes.
Right.
You don't have to wear stilettos. You don't, you know, just comfortable, because then you look uncomfortable in interviews. So make sure it fits. Ask someone else's opinion before you walk in.
Definitely.
And you're going to get nervous, so you got to worry about what you wear. So.
Very true. So we have some photos of potential outfits for an interview. Can you give a thumbs up and a thumbs down?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, all thumbs down. I could teach the person in the middle what pants to wear with that really bright shirt, but maybe put a jacket on. Black dress way too short.
Yeah.
No, and the cleavage is not classy. So there's classy and trashy when it comes to women and blouses.
Right.
Number one, no. Obviously, for the shades, the shirt, and the shorts.
And the shorts, yeah.
Yeah.
And our next one.
Love it.
Okay.
Love every one of them. Don't have a comment, actually. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Everybody's good?
Everybody's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, look away on this one.
Can we do a double thumbs down on that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and I'll say to the third guy, if I am on a construction site and this young man came with a t-shirt, jeans, and some Timbs, regarding the environment, that may be acceptable for a foreman who's wearing a hard hat. He might have a cigar hanging out of his mouth and a dirty coat.
Right, right. Makes sense.
But you kind of got it, and we'll get into that, like why are you researching the company, and you know, you might walk in a suit and then you're walking over rocks and puddles and mud. So, you know, you got to be a chameleon, but yeah, just no. First impression, no. Absolutely, yes. Perfect.
Yeah, everyone's good.
Middle, you're risking it with no tie. Again, ties are free at Kids Closet at New Vision Community Church. Other places, there's a ties for $1 at Goodwill. So, but all thumbs up. They all have belts on. That's important too, for so many other reasons. I don't see earrings on men, so even better.
Perfect, perfect. So there are different types of interviews, and I will list them. Then can you tell us what they are?
Okay.
So the first one is a screening interview.
Okay. Screening is job fair.
Okay.
Or, you know, and when you're looking for a job, you never know when you're interviewing. So if you're having coffee after church and you're introduced to someone, that could be a screener for me.
Okay. Just
kind of understanding how a person's demeanor is. What are you looking for? I asked you what your major was.
Yeah.
You never know. So yeah, I'd say introductory meetings or screening.
Okay. And what's a phone interview?
Phone interview traditionally happens after resumes have been, you know, weeded out. Meaning, you know, I'll look at resumes at night because that's the only time I have time, to quiet time, and they go in 2 piles, and the second pile goes in the trash. So I'm left with that first initial pile that I want to phone screen to actually see what's your voicemail sounding like, and why is it, baby69.com on your Gmail. I'm not understanding. So again, it's the impression you get before you actually meet the person.
Okay. And the first, second, and third interview, like, why are there so many of those?
Depending on the company, there's layers to get to the decision maker. Okay. I may have, if you can't get past my receptionist with your nonverbal communication, you're probably going to wait a little bit. It's going to be really quick. So we have telltale signs as to, all right, is she going to interview directly with me, or am I going to have an assistant? Okay. Usually people interview with me, that's their second interview, and then I introduce them to the hiring manager. Okay. So that would be the third. Okay. And it goes along with commitment. How long is the person going to hang in there? If you're dedicated to searching, you are as patient as a mother expecting with the process. Right. That's the only analogy I can come up with.
That's a good one.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. And a dining interview.
Dining interview. If you've gotten to that level, it's corporate. Okay. It's real serious. It may even be a relocation. At that point, the company's trying to impress you enough. They know you are a hot candidate, and that your specialty, whether it is something real heavy like medical, or real complicated like IT. Okay. There's only so many diamonds in the rough, and that's our time to say, no, we're not going to Burger King or Starbucks to have this conversation. We're going to go to Capitol Grill. Oh, nice. Very nice. And they may even be testing your skills. Are you going to order a drink? Do you know what those 6 forks mean? Or, so it could be, but most often is to just try to,
Gotcha.
impress you.
Yep. And the final interview.
Final interview is we've narrowed it down to, we might have started with 5 candidates, gotten to 3, now we're down to 2. Okay. So this is it. If I am walking you around the building, I really don't waste time with people that I'm not, because I'll slip up and say, so your desk would be here. And shouldn't have said that. Or you could take this entrance and your key fob will work. So it's more so pretty confident. You should feel real good, if you're at that final stage. Okay. Not cocky, but confident.
Right, confident. And is there such thing as job interview etiquette?
Absolutely. From the moment you shake someone's hand is where you could lose me. And there's so many, I'm so scared, it's a limp wrist and I don't really want to touch you kind of shake. Or it's, you're trying to be tougher than me and ow. Yeah. Because now I don't want to shake your hand when you leave. Or, okay, that was like middle of the road. Yeah. Eye contact, posture, when you meet someone, you don't get a second chance to make that first impression.
Right. So when we come back, we will have you talk about what we should do after the interview. And we will be right back after these important messages.
Hey everyone, this is Chandler Davis, your host of the Talk with an Angel show. I need everyone who is listening to join my team by becoming a partner. When you partner with me, you will be among a special group of people who will help me make an impact on the lives of young people through my informative shows. Your faithful monthly support will enable me to extend my reach to youth all around the world. You can become an Angel partner today by making a monthly pledge of $25 or more, and you will receive my Angel Pack that includes a backpack, mug, and t-shirt. Just go to New Vision Community Church's website and become a partner today. And thank you in advance for being on Team Chandler by becoming an Angel partner.
Were you waiting for a sign?
Here it is. Okay, so it's not handwriting in the sky, but it is a message of love. God is always ready to meet you, right where you are, and so are we. Join us this Sunday at New Vision Community Church for a time your whole family will enjoy. Great music, casual atmosphere, and a message that's sure to encourage your faith, especially in the fast lane. Join us at 11 a.m. We're just down the road.
Welcome back to Talk with an Angel. I'm your host, Chandler Davis, and our special guest is Carol Washington, Human Resource Director for the Wilson Group, and we've been discussing how to get the job you want. So, what should you do once you've been interviewed?
The follow-up is probably one of the most important steps to ensure that they know you're still interested. Mm-hmm. Okay? I will remember, if I have 4 candidates in a day, you most likely remember the first and the last. Mm-hmm. So after impressions, an email, not personal, a postcard. I've gotten a fun thank you postcard. Or a letter is, from snail mail, is a little antiquated these days. That's why I say, call, leave a very professional email, or send that note. Okay. So thank you.
And how important is verbal communication skills?
Verbal communication, that could be a suicide mission, or it could save your job.
Right.
Okay, so when you're leaving a voicemail, and I want to back up and say that when I'm contacting someone, their voicemail message is just as important as mine. Mm-hmm. I don't want to hear Biggie Smalls when I call you, and you know what I mean? No diss to Biggie, but
right, keep it professional.
So I'm in my mind, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'll just either hang up, sometimes dismiss, or say, that wasn't your intention. Right. But if you're actively seeking, hi, Carol Washington, sorry I missed your call, leave a good time to call you back. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. You could turn on Beyonce when you're done. Right. You get the job, you could do whatever, mm-hmm. right? And then I lost my train of thought. So, leaving a voicemail with verbal communication is important. Speaking to that person that you meet before the interview mm-hmm. might be more important than getting to me. Mm-hmm. Once you're in the interview, please stop. Test yourself with another person. Tape yourself. Mm-hmm. Look in the mirror. Count how many times you say like.
Yeah.
I can't with the like.
That's so.
And I'm sitting here and I'll go. And I saw him distracted. I'm like, did you realize you said like 9 times in the last? Like, it's so distracting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, you're giving yourself 2 more seconds to think. I get that. Mm-hmm. That's why you rehearse. Right? So you don't run out of things to say. Mm-hmm. So the clearing your throat and the repeating the question, those are time tactics. And that's okay.
Right.
But you got to control it.
Right. Makes sense. What about our nonverbal communication, body language?
That is a turn off too. So if you have a desk in between you two and I can't see your feet, you can twirl and step on your feet all day. But if you're visibly watching shifting your weight is a distraction as well. I practice folding my hands, particularly I do another online show at New Vision Community Church. It's called Chit Chat Show.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, there's a table, and all you see is, from the abdomen up. So I'm consciously folding my hands to remind myself not to do this.
Right, yeah.
You know, and there's times when you get so passionate you can't help yourself, right? Your nails might not be done, and that's a distraction. Or, you know, little tics that you might have. Okay, not shaking your hand after you do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right? So licking the lips and blinking too much. It's just a lot, you know, that goes with the nonverbal. More importantly, and this is probably the most important thing I'll say about nonverbal, is the disinterest. I've literally said to Kennedy, am I boring you? Because it's, you know, I mean, we can wrap this up, and I'll, you know, we'll give you a call.
Right.
If it ends in less than 15 minutes, you probably don't have the job. But attitude is everything. I want you to, even if you're, like, don't stare down my throat, but a sincere look is a sincere look.
Yeah.
And an interest in a conversation. If you don't understand the question, don't look so puzzled that you're angry about it. I'm not sure what you meant about that. There's a good example.
Okay. And what is the minimum wage, and are employers allowed to pay teenagers less?
Minimum wage in the state of Pennsylvania is $7.25. I don't know how much a bus pass costs, but are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's why I tell young people to work close to home. Now, it is driven by the state you live in. Geographically, the cost of living is higher. Maryland is $10.10. LA, it's $11 even. So, part B of that question, did you have part B?
Well, just is there legal age that teens can start working?
Legal age is 14.
Okay.
In PA, and traditionally across the board, 14 and 16 is when, you know, you start to want your own money,
right?
Or you think you want work experience. So, but 14 is awkward because you're still trying to figure out if you want to scoop ice cream or flip burgers.
Right.
Because that's pretty much all you qualify for at that point.
If I'm a teenager, do I need any special papers to start working, or is a note from my mom sufficient?
No notes from mommy.
Okay.
All mom has to do for a minor would be to sign the worker's permit.
Okay.
And you could obtain your worker's permit at the Board of Education.
Okay.
It's in Oakland near the Cathedral of Learning, and I don't remember, but you could, I mean, young people Google everything now. So Google Board of Education, literally takes 5 minutes. 10 if you don't remember your social.
Right.
You can fill it out, hand it in right there. Some may ask for a teacher endorsement if they don't, you know, if they don't have a legal guardian, or they may be emancipated. But
okay. And are teenagers limited on how many hours they can work?
yes, between 14 and 16, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. It is 23 hours during a school week. 3 hours during a school day if you're registered in a school to work program.
Okay.
Okay, some high schools nowadays have a vocational program where you can actually leave and come back. They may even take you as a group to come back, and so that you actually come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, 23 hours is probably the max. They do want you to study and have a balanced student work life.
So what if I have a juvenile record? Do I have to reveal that on my application or in the interview?
Now, the interesting part about having a record my answer will be based partly on my spirituality and Christianity. Telling the truth is always the best option. It can be your nail in the coffin and not get the job, but you have to practice on telling your past. It legally could not be revealed, but an employer like me, and not that I'm doing anything illegal, but you can find out anything you want to know about most people if you know the right people or Google the right thing. If you've given me no reason to ask that question further and you've answered no, let it go.
Right.
And forgive yourself and move on. If you choose to tell your story, I'm pretty good at teaching people how to tell that story. And I'm a second chance opportunist. So, you know, some people aren't like me, where they believe people can change their life around.
Right.
But again, had it not been for some people in my life, I may not be where I'm at. And, you know, sorry, boss, I don't have no criminal record, just put that out there. But,
right.
You know what I mean? But everybody has, you know, things in their lives that they need to understand how to explain.
Right. What final words would you like to leave us with today?
I got a couple, but I'm gonna keep it brief. Social media can kill your reputation.
Yes.
It could be dangerous. It never, ever, ever goes away, ever. My nephew's in IT, and he's going to be, I can't say where, he's going to work in D.C., but his criminal clearance was an enormous, long process. And they were asking him questions about, and I don't even know if there was something before Facebook. Was it MySpace?
Yeah.
Went back to there, and he's like, wow, I was like 6th grade or whatever. It matters.
Yeah.
It matters. Voicemail, we already talked about that. Please just be professional while you're seeking it. Email should be generic. Just see Washington19@gmail.com. No indication that you're, baby girl USA. It really doesn't matter. Writing skills are key. So if you don't know how to write a letter, there are templates. Make it your own.
Right.
Because that's not my first impression of you. Listening is always good. So, and ask the person to repeat the question if you don't know. Otherwise, I could tell when you're lying. I could tell when you're making it up.
Right.
And if you disengage eye contact with me, that's just not a good thing. Last but not least, a smile goes a long way. When I call someone, I can hear it. I can hear.
Yeah.
Even if you're faking it and you got babies in the background and you're burning dinner. Hey, this is Carol. How can I help you? So, begin, end with a good handshake and positive attitude. You'll probably get the job.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Well, I hope this important information will help someone in their job search. Let's thank Carol for carving out some time from her busy schedule to discuss this important topic. Thank you. If you want to see a replay of the show, go to New Vision Community Church's YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. And if you would like to be a part of the live studio audience, join us next month on Saturday, December 1st at 11 a.m. for our live broadcast. And don't forget to like and follow the Talk with an Angel show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm Chandler Davis. Until next time, be kind. You never know when you're entertaining an angel. Be blessed.